The only beans you can have is garbanzo beans. Basically, you have to become a vegan and mostly raw if you could, but if not, cooked foods would be vegetables, including chickpeas. That's it. In saying that, I do have a 7-day recipe of different types of Caribbean style chickpea recipes on my website, and I will link that below. Hi, I'm Carmen, and this is the Miscellaneous Vegan, where I share a little R&R, recipes, and reviews. And welcome back to Coaching Mondays. And as you saw from the thumbnail, this is going to be a review of my experience doing the 30-day detox with Dr. Bobby Price. So I went to get my computer because I wrote a lot of notes here that I want to share with you guys, so you guys are prepared. If you haven't done the 30-day detox, I feel like what I wrote down in the process is going to help you. In addition, I did record daily vlogs on my camera, and I'm not certain if I'm going to share them. Maybe I will share them and I'll post them once every week because it's 30 days, so I probably will just summarize one week. But let's get into the reactions that I had taking a detox. So if you don't know, Dr. Bobby Price has a detox program. It's a tea detox program. And it's an herbal cleanse that introduces two blends, the Parasite Candida cleanse and the Tummy Detox. These are made of potent herbs like black walnut, burdock, clove, wormwood, cascada, dandelion, slippery elm. This combination is meant to flush out toxins, inflammation, and even parasites from the body. Just hearing that information is the reason that I did the detox, because in my research, I have come to learn that herbal detox are more beneficial than you doing a juice cleanse or just deciding to eat clean. You have to do a herbal detox because the herbs are what's going to pull the toxins out of your body. And if you know me and if you follow my channel, I talk about a lot about detoxifying your environment. I have several videos of that and I will link them below. But that's just introducing the tea, right? Information about the tea. So let's get into how my body reacted. So the first week hit hard. I had headaches, nausea, stomach cramping, and these are things that will happen. It's normal to happen while you're doing the herbal detox. And Dr. Bobby Price mentions this in the group dialogue that we have with the Facebook. I will get back to that. But this was the first week. But what I did notice that I really enjoyed was that my menstrual cycle shortened. Because usually sometimes my menstrual cycle will take 7 to 10 days. And while I was on a detox, it was only 5 days. In addition, this is gonna get a little graphic. When I would take a shower, sometimes I would see like huge blood clots. So if you don't know, I suffer from fibroids, and I know a lot of women suffer from that. So I feel like the teas were cleaning out the extra hormones that were in my body and also the extra cysts that were in my body, maybe shrinking my fibroid. And in the group, other women did mention about their cycle changing, being shorter, less cramps for their menstrual. So that was a benefit of taking the teas. So let's move on to digestive roller coaster and cramping, because that's exactly what you're going to get when you're doing the Dr. Bobby Price detox. So with the digestive roller coaster, what I mean by that is that I'm a vegan, so I usually go to the restroom every day. But with these teas, it was forcing me to use the restroom more than usual. You're supposed to use the restroom every time you eat. So if you eat 3 times a day, you're supposed to go to the restroom 3 times a day. And that is exactly what was happening to me, because on average, every day I might use the restroom twice, but I eat probably 3 times or 4 times, 4 times being like maybe a snack. But during the detox, I was going so many times, and sometimes it happened during times that I didn't want it to happen, like at work. My body has been accustomed to just doing number two at home. And at work, I do number one. And usually number two is in the morning, right before I take a shower or when I arrive from work, because I ate and I just hold it until I come home because I just want to be comfortable using my own toilet and, sanitation and reasons. And like, I think I have OCD, but anyways, it's just that the digestive roller coaster is that you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared that you're going to be going to the bathroom more than normal. And when you want to fart, you might not want to because it might be sharp. It didn't happen to me because there were so many people talking about that happening to them in the Facebook group that I decided, you know what, when I feel like I want to fart, no, I'm not. I'm just going to go to the restroom, and then if I fart and it's poop, then I'm at the restroom. But that was an issue for me, was that I needed to do number two more often, and sometimes I had to do it at work. So be mindful of that. So let's get into the taste of the teas, taming the bitterness. So yes, the tea is extremely bitter. When you first drink the tea, I have a reaction. The very first time I purchased this tea with my boyfriend, I will link it below, but the tea is hard to drink. I'm not going to kid you not. It's whatever they say to put lemon, to put oranges. The first few days, that's not going to matter, but you have to push through because after the fourth or fifth day, you're gonna start getting used to it. And then once you get to the 10th day, you can just drink the tea with no chaser. Because what I was doing was that I had a chaser. I had sparkling water or a lemon or oranges. Oranges did help, but I would like drink the tea and then take a bite of an orange. So the tea is hard in the beginning, but your body will adjust. Your taste buds will adjust. So just stick with it. So for me, the challenge was the daily volume of intaking the teas. So you have to drink two separate teas. One day you can't mix them, you have to drink them separately. In addition, drinking additional water. So for me, in the 30 days, I honestly did not drink both teas every single day. And I feel like maybe I was the only one, but other people say they struggled with it. But I don't know. I couldn't see how every single person was able to drink those teas for 30 days without fail. So I continued every day. I would make the tea in the morning, at night, and then take it to work with me in the morning. And sometimes I would finish one tea. Sometimes I would finish a tea and a half. Sometimes I will only finish half of one. So it was a lot of um, water and tea that I was wasting because remember, he says to make it fresh every day. So every night I was making the teas. So if I didn't finish the tea that day, it will go in the trash because you needed to do it fresh. So remember to just push yourself to drink it because that's what I did my best. Every day I came back to it. If I failed today, I will continue. Tomorrow I will do better. So that's what happened was that I wasn't able to drink all the teas every day, but I eventually was able to make it towards the end of the 30 days. So let's talk about the benefits I was feeling when I did the detox. So my bloating was low, inflammation was low. My menstrual, I already mentioned my menstrual cycle was shorter. I saw that my hormones was being removed with the blood clots. I don't know if I had parasites because I didn't see them, but he said if you have parasites in your body, you will see them in your stool and you will notice the change in your body. And I did notice this change in my body because I always did crave carbs, but I wasn't craving them literally a week after being on the tea. I felt mentally awake, morally straight. It was just something about being on the tea that kept me focused on everything that I wanted to accomplish. So those were the benefits of being on the tea. And I feel like I would have seen more benefits if I would have drank the tea every single day. He is doing a detox, I believe, in August or September, one of those times. But this is the reason I made this video was so that if you decide to do the detox, which is coming in September, then you have an idea. Let's go into the restrictions. So there are a lot of restrictions on what you can eat. I'm not going to give too much details because that's why you have to purchase his program. I don't want to give too much information because then I'm taking money away from him. But one thing I will say is that the only beans you can have is chickpeas, garbanzo beans. That's the only beans you can have. You can't have red, you can't have black. The only beans you can have is garbanzo beans. Basically, you have to become a vegan and mostly raw if you could, but if not, cooked foods would be vegetables, including chickpeas. That's it. In saying that, I do have a 7-day recipe of different types of Caribbean style chickpea recipes on my website, and I will link that below. It's only $2. That's not much. The reason I charge $2 instead of one is because it took a little effort to create, and I also give you a shopping list. So that will help you. That's one of the key notes to take is that you want a meal plan. I don't like to meal plan because I like my food fresh. But these recipes were very helpful for me in the 30-day detox that I did because it's 7 different styles of chickpea recipes that you can eat with quinoa because you can't eat rice, but you can have quinoa. You will see the recipe. You will see the list of restrictions. But the 7-day chickpea recipe guide that I have for you on my website will help you for the detox. He has a book as well that you can order his cookbook. He has recipes that he walks you through. Let's go into that. Let's go into the benefits of being in the group instead of doing it alone. So when you are in the Facebook group, you will have access to Dr. Bobby Price and everyone else that has done the detox for the first time or has done it for like 10 years. So all those people have knowledge to share with you. You and another person in there may be going through the same thing. So that's why I feel like being in the group helps because they keep you motivated. And then Dr. Bobby Price shows up live. I believe maybe two times a week you might see him, and he's there to answer your questions and just give you information that you may need or. And then his tribe members are experienced people, so they will be able there to give you information. Like honestly, I got most of my information and guide through people in the group. So you want to join the group if you're someone that needs that extra motivation, and I am in certain aspects of my life. And doing that detox tea was very beneficial to being in the group. But let's go to the final thoughts and my tips. So I mentioned a couple of these things that are going to be my pro tip for you to successfully complete Dr. Bobby Price's detox. You want to sip slow. Drink it in all intervals of 15 minutes. Set a timer. Take a couple of sips, 3, 4. I was doing 10 sips at a time, which might not be, prudent, but then I lowered it to 7. But take a few sips and then put a timer for 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, do that. And you will finish your tea with before lunchtime. If you start in the morning, you will be done before lunch. Another pro tip is meal prepping. So like I mentioned earlier, I do not like to meal prep because I like to eat my food fresh. So I have learned to portion out my cooking. So when I already know how much food I need to prepare to cook that day for 2 servings, whether it's for me and my boyfriend or for me and lunch, for myself and lunch. I don't heat up my food in the microwave. I have a warmer. So I meal prep by cooking 2 servings, one for dinner and one for my next day in lunch. So, but for you guys, meal prepping is essential because if you don't meal prep, then you're going to eat junk. So meal prep for your breakfast, lunch, and snack. Make sure that you find time for the sauna. He does mention that, but it's going to help to detoxify your body. I do hot yoga, so that was easy for me. There are saunas that you can buy on Amazon and they're small. So make sure you find time to do that. You have to add some exercise in your detox, but not excessively. Yoga would be your best bet. But if you don't have that, just do some simple workouts in the house, with a chair and doing like these, like, I don't know what they are, squats and like these workout with your arms. Like, I don't know what these are called when you're doing this. Not sure. But simple workouts in the house will do, and making sure that you do the sauna. That will help with detoxifying your body. In addition, make sure you drink plenty of water. I know, like I mentioned, I wasn't able to finish the teas because it was the tea and water. So just try to drink enough water to flush out your system. You want to clean your body. Overall, Dr. Bobby Price's detox tea was intense yet rewarding. So that is what you have to remember, that the benefits you're going to see, the rewards you're going to get from doing this detox is going to be tenfold. So thank you for watching, you guys. If you have any comments or questions, please comment down below. And always remember, sweets, be real, not perfect. Bye.